Never stop reading the Bible.
Have you ever seen a community just thrown into complete chaos because of a rumor? I mean, a dangerous one that spreads like wildfire. Well, today, we're going to break down an ancient letter that's basically a masterclass in how a leader can step in, correct all that misinformation, calm down the panic, and bring back some order.
It's a problem we still deal with all the time, right? A really important message gets twisted, and suddenly a community that should be feeling hopeful is just alarmed and confused. In this case, some people even quit their jobs, totally convinced the end of the world was already happening. And that is the exact crisis this letter was written to solve. So the author sends this second letter with a super clear purpose, to shut down this false teaching that this huge world-changing event had already started. But you know, his goal wasn't just about fixing their theology, it was about calming their very real fears and getting them back to their normal, productive lives.
So we're going to walk through this letter exactly how the author laid it out. First, we'll look at how he encourages the community. Then, we're getting to the heart of it all, the big correction. And finally, we'll check out the really practical, everyday advice he gives them for how to live in the meantime. Okay, so let's jump into chapter 1. Now, before he corrects anybody, the author starts with praise and a really powerful promise. He knows this community is facing some serious hardship, and his first move, it's to build them up. What's so brilliant here is the strategy, right? He doesn't just say, hey, hang in there. No, he points to their specific strengths, their faith, their love, and he highlights how these things are actually getting stronger because of their struggles. Then he promises them that justice is coming, and he prays for them, which kind of frames all their suffering as having this deep, meaningful purpose. And this quote just perfectly captures the core of his encouragement. It's this powerful idea of a great cosmic rebalancing. He's basically telling them, look, the scales will be balanced in the end. The people causing you trouble will face justice, and you, the ones who are suffering, you will find relief. For a community under so much pressure, that was a serious anchor of hope.
Okay, so now we get to the real reason this whole letter was written. Once the community's been encouraged and their spirits are up, the author pivots to tackle the rumor head-on, this whole thing about the timing of the day of the Lord. This slide just lays it out so clearly, doesn't it? The problem and the solution. The rumor wasn't just an idea. It was causing real-world problems, panic, people quitting their jobs. So the author's correction isn't just about some abstract idea. It's a practical fix to restore order. He's giving them a clear sequence of events to watch for. It's like he's saying, hey, don't be shaken. You'll know it's time when you see these specific things happen first.
So what are these signs they're supposed to look for? Well, he gives them a clear, step-by-step timeline. First, a huge rebellion, a major falling away from the faith. Second, this powerful figure he calls the man of lawlessness will show up. And third, some kind of restraining force that's holding all this chaos back will be taken away. Only after all that happens, he says, will the final day arrive.
But here's the thing. Even with these really intense, almost apocalyptic warnings, he slips in this crucial message of comfort. He reassures them that when all this difficult stuff does go down, the faithful community will be kept safe from all that turmoil. So yeah, it's a stark warning, but it comes with a really powerful promise of protection.
All right, so with that huge theological mix-up cleared, the final chapter brings everything right back down to earth. It basically answers the question that would be on everyone's mind. Okay, so how are we supposed to live right now? And this is where the tone just totally shifts. It gets way more personal, more direct. It really feels like a parent or a mentor giving some firm but really loving advice. He's not talking about the distant future anymore. He's talking about the immediate, practical stuff, their character, their work ethic, and how they treat each other. And here's what that looks like on a daily basis. He tells them, hey, support each other, pray for each other. He tackles that idleness problem head-on, telling people to get back to work and earn their own keep. He also calls for order, saying that if people are being disruptive, don't just kick them out, gently warn them first. I mean, this is a blueprint for a healthy, functioning community. And a huge theme here is mutual responsibility. It's so cool. The author actually asks the community to pray for him, just as he's praying for them. That creates this really powerful sense that they're all in this together, strengthening the whole community from the top down and from the bottom up. So what's the big takeaway from this whole letter? I think it's this. True faith isn't just about sitting around and waiting for the future to happen. It's about living actively and responsibly right here, right now.
that hope for what's coming should actually fuel a disciplined, orderly, and productive life in the present.
And that brings us to a question that is just as relevant for us today as it was for them back then. This ancient letter was about a specific crisis, sure, but its core challenge is absolutely timeless. How do we, as people, as communities, hold on to a powerful hope for the future without dropping the ball on our responsibilities today? Finding that balance, that's probably what really defines the strength of any community.
Our analysis was based on research from this center studio.